Well, hey, stampin' friends, Darlene with Darlene Stamps. Thanks for stopping by. Guess what I got today in the mail? The pumpkin for July. And so I am doing something a little different, and because I'm in my jammas. So get your jammas on and come stamp with me. So we are going to look at doing one of the cards, obviously not the ones that are here because that's just super easy. Doing alternates, and this will be one that we'll be doing, and then I also have some extras I want to show you, so stay tuned. I cut tea light bags, which this is the little bag. I've already stamped on it. Isn't that cute? And I was going to put a tea light in, but I can't find it. So just imagine it's being illuminated right now before your very eyes. Comes with bags, some vellum dyed jars. Aren't these cute? Cute, cute, cute. And we've got some adhesives, some mini dimensionals, and then these really neat, and they were right here. I'll find them. They're the little stars. I better find them. All right, and then let's see, adhesive dots. Oh, and the colors are Blackberry Bliss, Calypso Coral, Coastal Cabana, and Night of Navy, and obviously white. Anyhow, so what I wanted to do is show you this card. So I'm just going to put that up right there. And what we're going to do is just take our inside, and I took this is the stamp set, which is a little starburst, a sunburst. It's not really a starburst. That's the wrong thing, but you know, like a firecracker, you know, fireworks. Oh my goodness, yes. Lightning bugs. You're invited. This is kind of like for party time. You light up my life. RSVP. There's a little line like you would for a, you know, those sparklers. So there's a straight line stamp in there like a sparkler. A little star, like a little flash. And then this is a little tiny, tiny, itty bitty bitty dot. And that dot right there. And that's the behind. The behind of the bug. The butt. Anyhow. Then this thing says, hold on, I can't read it right. It says, on the summer nights are all alight with everything magic and bright. So I thought that was kind of neat. Okay, so let's go ahead and get started. So what I did, I've already mounted my stamps. Okay, I know it's getting late, but I wanted to get some of this out so that you guys, as you're getting yours are coming in the mail, that you can have some alternates to think about. Okay, I've done kind of a squirrely line because polymer, you're able to maneuver it, which is very cool. So we're just going to take some brown, and I am making my branch. So we're going to come across, and I didn't get that all the way, so we're going to put my head in there, so pardon my head. Okay, there we go. And then we are going to, there we go. In order to not crisscross over itself, I'm going to get a little bit of, and this branch is going to always be different based on how you do it. So all I'm doing is getting a little bit of my branch in here. Well, I hope everyone's week is going well, because I mean, it's only Monday, I know, but you know, I've said to people, it is a marvelous Monday. That's what I say. And some people don't want to hear it, but yeah. All right. I'm trying to get an angle on this, and yeah, it's easier when you're just kind of freelancing it. So, all right, we want to go off here. And I guess there's not really any rhyme or reason, but I kind of wanted to have a little bit of play on it. And I'm just using the my paper so that I could kind of come off of the line. I think we'll leave that one as is. Okay, now I have this little fella, and he's kind of like a twig, but let me show you. When I use this end, look how it kind of looks like little branches. Can you see that? Like little branches. And I'll have to cover that. I've already got a mark on here. Boogers. All right, so I am just going to make my branches come off of there. And it kind of gives it like an extension, like the tree kind of comes alive. And so, yeah. But I thought that this kind of looked a little to me like well, you know how when you go out in the summer and you have little, you have, of course, the lightning bugs, and then you have all of your little mason jars with your lights in them. So anyhow, that's what I kind of, was trying to get ideas of what this looked like. And that's what it kind of looked like to me. So I'm going to take my little piece of his bottom. And okay, let me put the brown away. I think I'm done with brown. And let's get our green together. Now this is Mossy Meadow. And I'm going to take this little star and just start to make little clusters of what I would call leaves. And it's not like I'm putting a whole bunch like to cover the entire thing, but yeah. And I can kind of cover my boo-boos, which I have a boo-boo down here I will have to cover. And I'll be able to show you how I cover them. That's what's fun about stamping, is that it's kind of like cooking. A little different than baking. Have you noticed that when you bake, you mix everything up and you're pretty much at the mercy of making whatever recipe you did and making sure it turns out right, because you don't get a second chance to make it taste good, So if you're cooking, you can be going through and I'm going to come in here and hide that little guy. You can be cooking and then it needs a little bit more salt, and so you can add salt, and it really puts a lot more flavor in it, so you can kind of manipulate it. So I kind of think of stamping as ways of manipulating it, because you kind of make it and you look at your project and go, it needs something else. Now I'm going to do some stamp off, which means that it goes on just a little lighter, and fill in my leaves, or it's not really grass, but what I thought would be nice is to have just a show of how that works. Now I'm going to do some, you take my little dauber, and I'm going to take off and then go on. And what I'm trying to do is get a little bit of shading in here. I was going to do blue because obviously it's the sky, but because I'm trying to bring in the green, and I want it to have a little bit of color, so I am putting the green on here, and the green just happens to be what I thought would be for the tree. And okay, so now let's put on our little mason jars. So I'm going to use Calypso Coral because that's what's in our kit. Not that the little ink spot that comes with is Blackberry Bliss, but it's a little bit too dark for what I wanted. So we are just going to put our little mason jars here. And remember that we are doing 5. 5 is our number. 3 was not enough. So we are going to get these a little staggered. Just a little staggered. Okay, now I used a marker for my pen when I was doing my lines, or my they're not chains, you know, rope to hang my little mason jars from the tree. So I'm going to use a ruler, and I'm using this is black, right? This is black. I want to come down from the tree, and the one that I did on this one was just a little, it was too thick, but I was already committed. So there you go. This will look a little better, I think. Anyhow, so I got home from work, got my pumpkin, and I was like, oh my gosh, I've got to get some ideas out there. And it's taken me most of the night because, you know, once the creative juices start flowing, it's kind of hard to turn it off. So now I'm just going to put some bows, and I want a little bit of this to stand out. And this is not, let's see if I can go around this. There we go. Because that branch, I did it a little too high. Okay. I have somewhere, it just isn't readily available. And remember where it is, but I have a little bow stamp that would be great. But as you can see, this is going just as fast. Okay. And that makes the effects look more real with the bow. There. All right. And then we want to color this in. I'm using blender pens. One, because I kind of want it to blend with the color, and this is it's actually Pool Party. I didn't want it as dark, and I'm not going to shade the whole thing in, just because, you know, sometimes when you have a effect, it kind of gives a little illusion. And then I'm using the Calypso Coral, the light one, and I'll use the marker. But I thought the blender pens were a good, rather than a good selection of coloring them, rather than trying to use a dauber or something like that. So anyhow, kind of keep the colors the same. All right, and then we're going to use a saying that is from the Beautiful You, and I have I'm low on thinking of you. I'm low on this one, actually, wishing you brighter days to come. I have you know, with all the stuff in this world, there are people that are really going through a tough time, you know, and it's nice to know that someone is thinking of you, and, you know, that things will get better. All right. Okay, and then I wanted to show you, okay, so I could put it on the white, but wow, that just like washed out, right? And of course, the color that comes with the kit, that was, it was okay, but it didn't seem to really sing. But when I put it on the Calypso Coral, like this one, that's where it just seemed to really have a nice look. So I'm going to use my Tumble. I'll just swirl that on. Okay. Oh my goodness. You see what I just did? See? That's what happens when you're on air. I just smeared my all right, so, oh, I know what we're going to do. All right, so we're going to fix that, and we're going to fix that by putting our Dragonfly. And my Dragonfly, we are just going to use Calypso Coral. So I don't have any Dragonflies in this, so in order to, you can see my little oops, because it's smeared, I am going to put my Dragonfly right up there, going to there, and just so that they think I'm purposeful, I'm going to double stamp it. I'm going to put one right in there. Okay, and then we need our little hiney, and this one I want it to make sure it looks like it's lighting up, so we're going to have to use, of course, Daffodil Delight, and we'll put it right there. I know it's probably a darker, I could have probably used green, but because of that smudge, that was very important to hide. That's how you fix, oops. All right, so we've got that. That is our design. And then I did put the little star there, but because this desk, I have, oh, I did find it. All right, I just want to put a little star because the bling, I think, adds a lot. And we'll put that just a little dark, okay? All right. Still with me? All right, so here we go. This one is just taking the Firefly die cuts that came with it and the little star burst firework out there, and just taking the colors because they come with the different designer paper, I'll call it, and I just cut that down, use the vellum. So it's that one. This one, I just took the die cut and I moved it up, put a little white strip in there with clouds. I was going to put it down below, but that kind of had a good direction. What do you think? Okay. This one was fun. You know how you had the little lanterns that fall in the sky, and then that's beautiful skyline, and then the thank you, and the stars. Oh, I used 5. 1, 2, 3. No, I used 6. Okay, well there's 5. There's 5 there and 1 there. All right, so well, that's fine. All right, and this one, I'm going to show you what I did with this one, because this isn't part of the kit, but I'm going to show you what we did. Okay, so here, oops, here is the little lanterns. I strung some twine in that, so they're kind of strung along. Then this is actually our jars of clay die set, and so these are just a fun thing, little dragonflies that are in the mason jar. This is the mason jar that came in the kit. And with vellum, it's really interesting because if you put any kind of glue, it's going to show. So the trick, underneath each of these dragonflies is a glue dot, but you can't see it. So it is kind of loose, but that kind of gives it the 3D effect. And then there's our fireworks. I did a background and then did a white inlay, but just red, white, and blue. There's your fireworks. And then here is the Ferris wheel. I cut the Ferris wheel and then did a pop-up on it. But here's your little fireworks, dragonflies with a background. And then I did do a layer. So I took and cut the piece out and then made a little layer behind it. And then did some layers with the Ferris wheels kind of popped up. This one's super simple. So this is the size of what comes in the kit, the little postcard size. So it lays in, it lays inside of a 5.5 by 4 1/4. And then I did stars for those. But this is the stamp on that. So it has your starry sky with the little, almost like a, the Milky Way. So it's kind of neat. And then I raised that up on this thing. This one was super fun because I was using the Dragonflies, used a piece of the designer paper, and then just some layers, and I need some happy birthdays I need. So, and then I did some of the stamping underneath that. This one is a Ferris wheel. I didn't cut it out. It just raised the whole thing up. Did my fireflies and did some of the stamping of the fireworks down there for design. But again, these postcards fit perfectly inside. They're inside a quarter inch all the way around. So nice layering. I took the jar and put the little, because they're so bright, I put the ladybugs underneath and then tied the twine. There wasn't a lot of blue twine, just letting you know. There's not a lot of it. So you'll see it's not a whole lot of the cards that came with it. I really did try to use just stuff in the kit for those that only get the pumpkins. And then I angled this so that it would kind of be just a different layout than any type of sentiment that comes out or stamps on it. So just something different. Now this, I took the bag and I cut it and just stamped the 3 on just like we did here, and then took that out and made that a layer so that this is behind there, and did the party, did the stars, and there's the rest of that twine. That was it. Those are the only 2. Okay, so that is our fun. Oh, real quick. So with the kit, this is the pumpkin. I did something that they started to do. It's called an add-on. And the add-on comes with all these envelopes. And it comes with the all of the different bases. So as much as people look at their pumpkin, what they're starting to do, Stampin' Up's doing, is they are offering what they call an add-on that you can order in. I think it's like $10, but there is like serious cards in this. So, and the envelopes. So anyhow, that's where this came from. The envelope, I opened it up, and that's where this one came from. So anyhow, this is our fun kit. Fun. I have too many. I can't even lay them all out. All right. So there's your alternates. There is something I thought you needed to see right away. So anyhow, get your jammas on, stamp with me, come back soon. There will be a part 2. This is just craziness right here. We'll try to get some more done.